Beautiful ones, it's Ethany and welcome to Oracle Wednesday for the 23rd of October to the 29th of October. And I'm so excited because it's so close, that magical date once a year, the 31st of October, where all of my witchy dreams come true. So leading up to that, we're going to have our Oracle Wednesday. I'm going to switch over the cameras like always, and I'm going to show you 3 piles of cards. I want you to pick the pile that you feel the most drawn to, that is calling you, that has a message for you this week, and then you're going to come on back and we're going to go through the messages revealed. As always, if you want to see a little bit about the decks that I've used for this week, wait until the end because I will go through every one of them and show you a few of the cards from the deck and talk about the creators and where you can find them. So with all that, without further ado, another glorious morning. I feel sick. I probably did that wrong, but I love Winifred. I love everything Hocus Pocus, and let's get this party started. Okay, lovely ones, here are your piles for Oracle Wednesday for this week. I want you to take a nice deep breath. I want you to focus on what message that you are here to hear, what guidance your guides have for you or your ancestors, and then I want you to pick the pile of cards that speaks to you the most. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. I recommend that you write the pile down that you've selected so that you don't forget once we get to the messages revealed, and let's go and see what Spirit has in store for you this week. All right, now it's time for your messages revealed, and we start always with group number 1. And group number 1 this week, you have the Page of Cups, who is my empath in my tarot court sort of structure and system. We have the 8 of Pentacles, and we have Lemongrass. Just gonna see if I can get that. Yeah, there we go, with some capoeira there. Alrighty, so your message for this week is to always listen to your emotions. They are trying to tell you something, even if it's not pleasant, even if it is something that you are struggling with. Your emotional body, so you have a number of bodies and other energy bodies, your emotional body is trying to tell you something, and usually that is something important, and a lot of us shut that off. A lot of us are told maybe we're too much, we're too emotional, we're too sensitive. Oh my god, the amount of times I've heard that I'm too sensitive. No, I'm just an empath. It doesn't mean that that person is right, or it doesn't mean that you are not right yourself. That you're wrong to listen to your emotions. Like, I know I can't watch certain things because it's too hard for me to shake that off. It'll take days, if not weeks. So I just simply do. I've got like a random hair that's really like annoying me. Don't you hate that? Really unprofesh. I'm going to try and get it. I found it! So getting back on track. Because you know how much I hate editing. So I just don't do it. Don't do things that I know are going to take me a really long time to recover from. They're always trying to tell you something, so listening. And one way that you can do that is by spending some time by yourself. I love this little Page of Cups here, surrounded by music and a kitty cat and a little yellow submarine and some fishies. Just spending some time alone. That music can be anything. I love the music in this. It can be anything that makes you happy, but it could be some meditation music just to kind of like, you don't have to like sit and properly meditate, but even if you're just spending some time contemplating and being in the quiet and allowing yourself some time to get away from external input, that can really help. If you are finding that you're becoming overwhelmed, if you're finding that your energy bodies are saying, your emotional bodies are saying, too much, I need a time out, this is just too much for me, focus on one thing at a time. The 8 of Pentacles is about focus. It's about completing one thing at a time. It's about apprenticeship and taking your time and putting in the effort. But for this, the message for this week was really focus on one thing at a time if you're overwhelmed with this card, so that you're not trying to do everything. Something that is very difficult for a lot of empaths and a lot of psychics to do is multitasking. We try to do it, but often it's not done in an effective way. Like we end up with like half finished projects, or a bunch of stuff that's like partially done, or a bunch of stuff that's partially rushed. So if you're feeling like you're getting overwhelmed, it's time for you to listen to that body and your energy body, and do one thing at a time to completion so that you are finished. And also so that you're not taking on too much, So if you've already got a few things on your plate, just say no. Try to do, you don't have to say yes in order to take on something else. That's not a requirement of you, nor should it be. And then your final card is lemongrass, and this is about taking care of your physical self, making quick decisions to protect yourself, and remembering you do not have to explain those decisions to anybody or justify the things that you do in order to take care of your physical body. Now, lemongrass and anything in the citrus family, this is a aromatherapy deck, is really about action. It's a very physical, uplifting, vibrant, fresh sort of scent. So here you're being asked to take physical action, whether that's separating yourself physically from people that are just not your jimmy jams, or whether you need to go for a walk, if things in your office get a bit funky, or you need to just get a bit of space. This is physically doing something. Dance it out, dance battle, whatever it may be. This is something for you to do that is a quick physical movement to shift things and to move things along and protect yourself in a physical way. And remember, you do not need to explain yourself to anyone, especially if it's something that you're doing for self-care. Often when we start to take care of ourselves and we start putting ourselves first, we kind of want to justify why we're making these decisions, and we want to justify why things are changing. And that can be a bit of a dangerous trap, because all of a sudden you're apologizing, or you're trying to, you're apologizing, or you're looking to other people for permission in order to take care of yourself. And really all you need is your own permission to say, this is not right for me anymore, or I need to do something else for myself and I need to move on, or I need to have a bit of space, or a timeout, or some time alone, some time to recharge, some time to meditate, some time to make music, listen to music, create, whatever it may be. But really remembering, listening to your body, finishing one thing at a time, especially if you're getting overwhelmed, and then making quick decisions to take care of your physical self and not feeling as though you have to justify it. That is group number 1. I think there's some good leg lessons in there for everybody. Group number 2. You have the Emperor. Let's see if I can give everyone the 6 of Wands. Oh, I just knocked my coffee. And Rose Otto. Okay. So your message this week is really about the way in which you want to be in the world. Success comes with work. So we have a very lovely successful card here with the 6 of Wands. But success comes when you work with an open heart, but also with structure. When you lead the way you want to be led. And this doesn't mean you have to be a team leader, or you have to be in some sort of leadership position in your life. You can still be a leader. You can still show people the way in which we can be in the world, even with small little acts. It doesn't need to be something grand. One of my favorite One of my favorite mini series that I've ever watched is Panda Brothers, and the Damian Lewis's character, which I cannot remember off the top of my head, is such a natural born leader, but he wasn't the leader of the Easy Company. He just wasn't, but he became their leader. So if you haven't seen Panda Brothers, go see it. It's spectacular. But it's about leadership from an open and kind heart, and knowing that when one of us succeeds, all of us succeeds, and success doesn't have to be something that we are going to have taken away from us. Yes, sometimes it can. Some days, like Heidi Klum, the industry of fashion, one day you're in, the next day you are out. So that can happen, absolutely, but it doesn't mean you can't go and get that success again, or even be even better and get in an even more amazing position of success. It's like, this is not something you need to be stern and harsh, and that's why I love this combination of the Rose Otto and the Emperor, because it's like great leaders people want to be some people like the very harsh dictatorship sort of thing, but a lot of people are very drawn to open leaders who will listen, people who will include, people who have some sort of compassion in their heart. Remembering that compassion is also important for yourself. I'm just looking at my channel messages that I do before I hop on. If you fall off the wagon, it is a process and we are always learning. So if you've been very hard on yourself, or if you've been like hoarding your success and not wanting to help other people in your area because you're worried about them being a threat or whatever it may be, know that come back to that heart space, open that heart space up with that rose Otto energy and lead through there, and remember that you are in a space where there is enough to go around for everyone. There is an infinite amount of opportunity for everybody. It's not something that you have to worry about being taken away from you in a competitive way. I'm a very collaborative worker. I love, once I see a colleague of mine succeeding, I always say, I think I even said this last week, thank you for showing me what is possible, and congratulations. You want to celebrate other people's successes. Another really good book, if you're running your own business, if you're doing something that is along the lines of entrepreneurship or running your own business, the book Love is the Killer App is a really, really good book that you may want to pick up on Kindle or on ebook, or even read it as a physical book. Funny that I love my physical books, as it is a really great way to learn this sort of vibe of through love and mentorship and being open and forging connections rather than looking at competition. So remembering that structure, the Emperor is really important. You still need that structure. You still need that leadership quality. You still need to make sure that you are showing up and you're doing the work, and that you are being present, and that you are having strategy, because that is all very important, especially with that the Emperor there. But you need to also look at at what cost, if you're kind of being a bit shitty about it, or remembering to bring some compassion to yourself if you're being really hard on yourself. A lot of us are our worst critics. We always tend to be super hard on ourselves, but know that real success comes when you're able to marry the heart space with the head space, that logic, that strategy, that drive, that very Aries energy of the Emperor, along with a loving space, so that you're doing things from that energy rather than a destroy kind of energy too. Sometimes destroy is good, but not this week for group number 2. I guess it's also, I feel very connected to that because I'm working with the goddess Ishtar at the moment, and she's a goddess of love and war. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of her a little bit. I'm going to take a bit of coffee. Isn't my mug gorgeous? Gold Buddha. It's so pretty. I have a very big collection of mugs, and they're all totally mismatched, hodgepodge, Disney, all sorts of stuff. Okay, so group number 3, your messages for this week, your cards this week are the 7 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, so cute, all those butterflies, and Spikenard. Okay, I should probably have. Okay, so your message for the week is, I literally, when I was writing this down, it was so funny because as always, if you've been watching this for a while, I do actually channel these messages first. I pull the cards out. I have a full ritual that I do beforehand. And what literally came out was, pew pew, witches. This is shade is bouncing off me and goes away from me with ease and effort. And that was what I got. I may have been watching RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Maybe. Was totally. Just before I wrote this, so I was feeling very inspired by the beautiful queens in that. So really looking at what is, if any, you feel as though you're getting attacked. I'm not talking about if you're physically, or if you are in an abusive relationship, or you're getting bullied or harassed. If that shit is happening, do something solid about it. Go call the cops, go get help, remove yourself, call HR. I'm not talking about that very real shit that's going on. I'm talking about if you are sitting in a space where everything feels as though it's a bit of a affront, as if they're like, oh my God, how am I going to get over this hump? Everything, the odds seem stacked against me kind of thing. Not like if you're actually being attacked. If you're being attacked, please do something about it or reach out to someone who can help you. But if you're getting shade, if people are coming for you because you're succeeding, or they want to tear you down because you have a dream, or you're really going for it and they don't really maybe understand why, you know, a lot of people are like, what are you doing that for? It's like, well, I don't need to justify shit to you, and I don't need to explain to you why my heart feels so I need to do this. I've seen it a lot of times. Like, for example, one of my clients broke up with her partner, and everyone around her was just like, are you crazy? You shouldn't have done that. This person's really great. Like, what are you doing? And she came for a reading with me. And she was just like straight up, like, we did a reading and it was like, it was the right decision for her. She didn't even need that reading to know it was the right decision to her, but all of her friends made her feel as though it was a shit decision. And she was like so confused. So we sat down and we had a reading. And by the end of it, I was like, I lay out the cards and I'm like, yeah, mate, this was the right decision for you. You didn't have to explain anything. They don't have to get it. People do not have to get it for it to be true for you and for something that is right for you. So I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but I wanted to give you an example of what I was talking about. And this is where this Eight of Cups comes in. It's like, just like, don't take it on board. If people are, you know, like, I love that. It's like, oh, those butterflies flying away. They're my fucks, just flying away, transforming and flying away from me and away from you. You do not need to take on the world's troubles and other people's patterns and energies, which is also spikenard, and take them on as something that is yours. That is not your role here. Your role here is, even though, you know, society might make you think so, your role here is not to assimilate and take on other people's shit and to conform. Your role here is to be a full expression of who you are and go after what is in your heart and go after what is in your soul and what you want to achieve in the life you want to live, because you're the one who's going to have to look at yourself in the mirror every morning, not the other person. So if you are really feeling as though you're taking on other people's stuff, you're carrying other people's burdens, like whether it's a legacy thing, whether it's a family business thing, whether it's a expectation thing, you're really being asked to look at what is really holding heavy in your heart and what is really what you can liberate yourself from, and basically just say, you know what, I am giving no fucks. This is not your life, not your time, not something that you have to take on. Thanks for the input, but sashay away, bitch. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Hopefully a lot of you like RuPaul's Drag Race, because there was a lot of it, but that's really the big message for you there. It's like, that shade, put up your big, you know, you could do the fembots and be a pew, 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 or you could be like Wonder Woman and be like, and like just, or you can put your shield up. You can, whatever it is, however you would like to physically block out some shade. You know, there's a zip up that you can do. You can use sprays, you can use crystals to help on an energetic level, but really just telling people to fuck off also really works as well. Group number 3, tell everyone to fuck off. Please don't tell your boss to fuck off. If you get fired, I don't want you to be into trouble with me. But part of that is to really learn how to say, like, fuck off politely. Or in my case, not so politely. All right, so those are your messages for this week. Hopefully I don't get you into trouble. But, you know, be smart with your messages. All right, so Stephanie told me to tell you to fuck off. Funny, please, if you do tell someone that I told them to tell you to fuck off, let me know, because I think that's really fucking funny. All right, so the first deck that I use this week is the Playful Heart Tarot by Kitten Chops. This is still up on Kickstarter. I believe she's funded. But go and score yourself a copy. I mean, can you even? I just unboxed this 2 weeks ago on my channel, so you can even go see a full walkthrough. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure, of this deck. It is just so everything. I love a beautiful, I mean, her artwork it just fucking makes me really happy. It just makes me really, really happy. So I adore it a lot. Oh God, oh yes. See, yes, go get the thing. I can't help but like looking at the, so beautiful. So there's a couple of bonus cards in here, which is what you're seeing. I'm actually doing a big layout on justice today. Funny that. Okay, so that's the Playful Heart Tarot. Not only are you going to be getting a really beautiful, very high quality deck, you are supporting probably one of the sweetest people I have ever met in my life. Kitten Chops is just such a soul. So that is the first deck. The second deck is the upside down pandas. That makes sense. Pandas are a little bit like that. The Way of the Panda Tarot by Fable's Den, by Kimberly at Fable's Den. And she is just the sweetest. The unboxing video just went up for this deck. Can you even... Again, beautiful, high quality deck. Really lovely person. Oh, that dream space, it looks like a lung. That tree. And who doesn't love pandas? Oh, that's so sad. Pandas are like the sweetest. We had a lot of fun in the Omomo Daiso shop looking at all the panda stuff when we met up. Oh my gosh, it's just so cute. I just love it. It's just so sweet. My son really likes this deck too. He just thinks... He likes pandas and penguins, so he was all on this. And the backs, look at these backs. You can go and watch the unboxing on my channel. It's just so beautiful, and Celia did such a gorgeous job bringing Kim's vision to life. So that's the second deck, and then the third deck is the Spirit of the Scent Oracle deck, and this is by Yvette K, illustrated by Space Odyssey. And this, have I put the unboxing up? I can't remember off the top of my head, so I was about it. But I will be, if it's not up already, it will be up at some point, because I have unboxed it, and it is a deck of scents. Of course, we have a bee. Kale Sage. So this is a lovely little indie deck. These are all indie decks this week. All indie decks. And so, as always, you'll be supporting people who do this. Oh, sandalwood. Look at sandalwood. So gorgeous. Clary Sage. So I will put in the description below where you can go and get all of these decks. And I hope you have a beautiful, fabulous, wonderful, magical, unicorn-filled, rainbow poops week. And much love to you all, and I'll see you all next time.